Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Rebecca Adehill Show. I hope that you are having the most magical start to your week. I had a reel that kind of went a bit crazy a few days ago. And my opening sentence of this reel was, "I'm pissed off." So I thought I'm going to address it here as well. So the conversation I want to have with you today is essentially around buyer frequency and our messaging and marketing online and how important that is. At the beginning of this week, I went down a very dark rabbit hole on Instagram. I don't know where the Instagram algorithm took me, but not a place where I ever want to go again. And essentially what I saw was other really successful, quote unquote, business owners making fun of other entrepreneurs, other business owners for having a go. They were criticizing the way they were showing up. They were criticizing their routine, and they were making fun of them. They literally went out of their way to create content, to be extremely passive aggressive to other people in their field or business owners in general. And I was sitting back watching that and I could not believe what I saw. These are multiple seven-figure business owners and they spend their time criticizing other people for having a go. I saw black. I got so frustrated, and there's not a lot of things that actually set me off like that. But here is what I know to be very true. People that are highly secure in their own success will never, ever spend their time criticizing someone for having a go. People that are just starting out in business, they don't yet have the evidence of a successful business, of things working out for them having an abundance of clients. They are holding on to a vision. They are holding on to a dream. They don't yet have the evidence. And what's absolutely essential at that point is that people around them, you, me, and us as a collective, are supporting them, encouraging them, and letting them know that we are proud of them for trying. Because when you don't yet have the evidence and you only have a vision, your faith can get a bit shaky at times, especially when you have other successful business owners taking the piss out of you having a go. So I created a reel about it, and it kind of went off in the best way possible. And people were thanking me for speaking up about it. And I think what saddened me so much about this was that how many DMs I received from people that have had similar experiences. Either they've been in mentorships or they've had people make fun of them online, or people have just been mean. Like, what is up with that? I don't get it. There is enough room for all of us to win. And something I want to highlight before I'm actually diving into today is that shine your light on someone else. That is not going to make your light shine any less. It will only make your light brighter. And sometimes I know that life gets busy and we don't really make the effort to go and tell someone that we're proud of them. We don't go out of our way to send that message. But I really want to encourage you, please, when you listen to this podcast today, just go out and make someone's day. Let them know that you're proud of them. Let them know that they are doing an incredible job. Compliment them for what they are doing. Engage on their post, like their post. Just do something. Go out and celebrate them. And I promise you, when you do that, it's going to make you feel so good about yourself for supporting other people. And that is going to come back in tenfold to you as well. So now we're going to dive into buyer frequency. And I'm really big on this one. And way back many years ago, and it's still around so much still, and I don't know how it's still around. It's the typical bro marketing, and I just don't do that. And if you don't know what bro marketing is a very aggressive style of marketing where we are specifically targeting the client's pain points and we are leveraging their weakness to then get a sale. It's the most disgusting way of marketing I have ever seen. And if that is your style of marketing, please do not come to me for coaching because I teach the exact opposite. What I'm really mindful of is that the buyer process and the frequency in which people buy actually starts from the conditioning of your audience, and it starts at the observation stage. Just before people reach out to you, they will sit back and they will observe. And maybe you are doing this right now. Maybe you are doing this to me right now. Maybe you are thinking about, I wonder if Rebecca is the mentor for me. I'm going to binge her podcast. I'm going to go through her content. I'm going to watch her stories. I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to sit back and watch. It's the typical observation stage, and that is perfectly normal. Keep observing. And what you will find in those moments, you currently have clients that are observing you. They will start to look at how consistent you are, what language you use in your content, and how you make them feel. Genuinely, how you make them feel. Sometimes it's not an intentional thought of, I wonder how this person makes me feel. They just leave with a knowing. They just leave with a feeling. Either they're going to feel really elevated consuming your content, or they're going to feel really shit about themselves consuming your content. And that comes down to your positioning and what you choose to focus on. So we are all in business because we are solving someone's problem, and we need to take them from problem land to promised land. And we need to craft very tangible solutions and outcomes for our clients. That does not mean that we focus on the problems and focus on the pain. I want to give you an example. If you are feeling overwhelmed and anxious right now, I am pretty sure that you know that. You feel it. I don't need to remind you of that. But what I get to do instead of saying, you are feeling so burnt out, you are feeling so overwhelmed, you are frazzled, you are procrastinating, you are never taking action, you just run around and you get nothing done all day, every day. Imagine if I spoke to you like that. How would that make you feel? You would feel pretty shit about yourself. So I don't need to focus on that. But is overwhelm, procrastination, are those things real? 100%. But because I'm in business, and because we are business owners, we get to focus on the solution we bring to the marketplace. So what is the mirror solution to the problems you solve for your clients? I want you to go through a list and just start to write down all of the problems that you solve for your clients in no particular order. Just mention problem. I call it problem land. So all of the problems that they are currently facing. Now, all the way over on the other side, we have something called promised land or desire land. On desire land, what we are going to do now, we are going to learn to mirror the problem with the solution. So now I want you to list all of the tangible outcomes and the mirror solution to all of those problems. So what is the opposite to procrastinating? Taking action. What is the opposite to having a very manual business? Automation. What is the opposite to at capacity with one-on-one work? A scalable business model. So what we need to learn to do in our marketing is knowing the problems that we solve, but simply focus on the solution. And I'm not saying that we can never mention the problems, but your marketing has to be rooted and highly focused on desire-led marketing. Because what is going to happen when you start to market your services and what you do and specialize in, they are going to consume your content and see that you understand them, that you have the answer to what they are currently looking for, to all of the problems that they are currently facing. You don't need to remind them of that. You need to show them the solution. You need to guide them to the solution. They know what they are navigating. Let's just move across and go, what would it feel like waking up every single day and you know that you have a highly scalable business? Your nervous system is calm. You've had 4 sales come in before you've had your first sip of morning coffee. You know that every single person that comes into your world, they are going to feel like they are the only person in your world. You are proud of the office that you have created. You have funnels that are supporting you inside of your business. You have clarity on your marketing, on your messaging. And you know that there is no ceiling in terms of how much money and how much impact you can make in this world. How did that feel sitting on the receiving end of that? Versus you have no automations, you do everything manually, you always run on overwhelm, you're procrastinating 24/7, you never get anything done, you keep hitting your income ceilings, and now you are starting to question, is this really going to be worth it? It's not as fun. And it's not even, I actually really struggle to even highlight that because I'm so used to the way I'm making people feel in the buying process and just the way I teach marketing and, you know, my own conditioning of always looking for the solution and looking for the opportunity. It's just how my brain is wired. So it feels really wrong to go down the path of focusing on the problem because the things that we focus on, where focus goes, energy flows. So why would I focus on the problem? I get to focus on the solution because where focus goes, energy flows. That is the same for your potential clients. Where focus goes, energy flows. So for each offer that you launch now, I want you to get super clear. Before you announce it to the world, I want you to hold your horses. And before you announce it to the world, I want you to get so clear on the tangible outcomes. And I want you to create a set of bank words. Bank words are words that will be the anchors of that particular offer that clearly summarizes the tangible outcome that offer will have. So for instance, inside of my program, Scale with Ease, which is all about funnel, tech, automation, scalability, and passive revenue. Those are my bank words for that particular offer, which means in my conditioning and the marketing before I announced Scale with Ease, I started to plant some seed and I started the conditioning of that offer so that it's at the forefront of my potential clients' minds before I have announced it. But when I do announce it, they are ready to buy. And that is when you get potential clients running to the checkout page because you have spent this beautiful time conditioning your audience for what's coming. You know what the problem you are solving. You know the problems you are solving, but we are focusing on the outcome. And we get very clear on those bank words and we drive those bank words for a period of time before you announce it to the world. So on day 1 of you launching an offer, if people are not running to the checkout page and saying, send me the link, I'm in, send me the link, let's go, I'm in, paid in full, can I have a payment plan, send me the link. If that isn't happening, that tells me that we have not done a good enough job on the conditioning and also on the articulation of the tangible outcomes that particular offer provides. The next thing I want to mention here, they get curious. If that happens, instead of saying, I'm shit, it's not going to work again, we're never going to get it right on the first try. But I want you to get curious and start to go through your own content and simply ask yourself, am I focusing on the problems or am I focusing on the solution? How consistent was I? How long did I condition my audience for? Did I use my bank words frequently? Did I show up consistently on stories? Did I craft my content in a way so that it is positioned to be very, very clear of what your potential clients should be thinking of right in this moment? If it's wishy-washy and you look through your own content and it's not clear, if it's not clear to you, it's not going to be clear to them. So the next part here is really allowing yourself to use simple language that your potential clients would use. Don't try and use fancy umbrella words. Don't try and make it sound fancier than what it is. People love simplicity. People love when you are transparent and direct. You don't need to feel like you need to linger them in and try and use these fancy words to make it sound something that it's not. Just craft an offer that clearly solves a problem for a particular demographic and make them feel really freaking good in the buying process. And once they reach out to you, now this is my last point. Once they reach out to you and they inquire about a particular program, do you think that we should again focus on the problems or focus on what they are hoping to get support with? You can ask them where they're at, but that does not mean that we are going to put more salt in their wound. There is no need for that. If you want to be mindful of the frequency your clients buy in, that is your responsibility to drive your marketing in a way that feels extremely empowering, uplifting, exactly the way you want them to buy. Every single person that comes into my world, it's the biggest celebration. They feel whole in the process of coming into my world. I never focus on their pain. Do I ask them what is happening for them right now and ultimately what they are looking to get support with? I can most certainly reflect back to them what I'm hearing, what they are navigating right now, but I'm very quick on highlighting what we are going to do about it and the solution that I have. Then you simply get to detach. If you want empowered people inside of your world, if you want actual dream clients who are genuinely excited to be in your world, they are empowered, they are self-led, they are motivated, they are driven, they cannot wait to be guided by you. That comes down to your conditioning of guiding them into your world. If you get people in their pain and you convert someone in their pain, they will come into your world thinking you are going to fix them. And that is not what you are going to do. They come into your world as a whole human, and you get to remind them of that. They are a whole human and they get to go from great to greater. We all have problems. We all have stuff that we are navigating, but it is your responsibility to highlight to them that they are whole. There is nothing to fix. It's just more to create. New levels to go, new levels of expansion, new levels of growth. And maybe we need to tidy up a few things along the way. But if you want to have a healthy client, coach or mentor, if you're a service provider relationship, be mindful of the frequency in which they buy. And it's not your clients to blame for this. This is your responsibility only. And last, I want to share something with you of an experience that I had when I reached out to a mentor over in the US. And I inquired about his services, and oh my goodness, he was trying so hard to get to my wound. He was trying so hard to pinpoint my pain. And I just kept telling him, there is nothing wrong. I'm just here to grow and expand. But what are you scared of? And what is wrong? What's the worst thing that's happening for you right now? He was just bam, 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 just trying to go for it. And I could see, because I was clearly observing the way he was handling the conversation. And then I paused for a moment And I asked him, I'm really curious before we move along even further, is your marketing tactic to get people in their pain versus making people feel really good in the process of buying something from you? He froze. He goes, can you please explain what you mean? I said, I can tell if you scroll up, I can tell that you are working really hard right now to try and find a wound that you can target. And I'm wondering if that is a part of how you market and teach marketing inside of your business. He sent me his mobile number and said, why don't you give me a call and we can have a conversation about this because I'm really curious. This is a person who never takes a sales call, by the way, and a highly, highly, highly successful, well-known business owner over in the US. Big coach, big mentor. So I called him and we were probably on the phone for an hour. And I remember it clearly because it was a Sunday my time, which was really odd. His Saturday afternoon. And I said, well, I don't believe that that's the right way of marketing your business because you were trying to target my pain versus seeing me in my light and amplifying my potential even more. He started to backtrack and then he said, I think that you have the potential to be the best female coach in the world on a globe. I see you on global stages, da. And then he backtracked and then he tried to make me feel really good. He'd already lost me by then. But I think it was a really incredible conversation for two leaders who had a very different perspective in terms of how we like to guide our people. And since I have taught my clients this process, exactly the same I'm teaching you right now, you are going to attract people who are genuinely excited to be in your world. They will feel so good about hitting that pay button. It's a celebration because the frequency is so high. Make your clients feel good in the process. Last but not least, the flow on effect from this, when you can master to focus on the problems that you solve and focus on the solutions and the tangible outcomes. Number one, your content creation and your marketing and your expression online is going to feel truly exciting, uplifting, and fun simply because you are focusing so much on the light, not the darkness and the pain. And the second thing is that your clients that you will attract from operating from this frequency and foundation will be just as empowered as you. It is a win-win for all. Go and make someone's day. Go and create content really highlighting how you have the solution to what they are looking for and make people feel really freaking good in the process. I really hope that you have loved today's episode. I cannot wait to be back here next week for another show. I hope you have the most incredible day, morning, evening, wherever you are in the world.